Is your check engine light flashing and your car shaking like a leaf every time you try to start it up? You might have a serious electrical issue brewing right on top of your engine that needs to be addressed right away. We are breaking down trouble code P2307. This is a widely used OBD2 powertrain diagnostic code that tells us your main engine computer, also known as the powertrain control module, has detected an abnormally high electrical voltage condition in the primary control circuit of the specific ignition coil labeled with the letter C. The primary circuits are simply the essential low-voltage wires that supply your main battery voltage and ground connection directly to the ignition coil. When your engine computer momentarily interrupts that ground signal, the ignition coil acts like a transformer and releases a massive high-voltage spark. That spark travels down to fire the spark plug, which ignites the fuel and pushes your engine cylinder downward to actually create your vehicle's horsepower. However, if the primary voltage coming into that coil is way too high, that critical high-energy spark will never happen, and that specific engine cylinder goes completely dead. When code P2307 is stored in your computer, the symptoms will demand your immediate attention. You are going to experience a severe engine misfire, which feels like aggressive shaking or shuddering from the engine bay. Your overall engine performance will drop significantly, making the car feel incredibly slow and sluggish when you press the gas pedal. You will also see a very sharp decline in your fuel efficiency, and to protect the catalytic converter, the engine computer might even completely disable the fuel injector for that affected cylinder to prevent raw fuel from dumping straight into your exhaust system. The root causes for this high-voltage electrical problem can sometimes be surprisingly strange. Believe it or not, the wiring harnesses sitting right on top of a warm engine are very frequently damaged by wildlife. Small animals like mice or squirrels love to climb up there and chew right through the electrical insulation to stay warm and build nests during the cold winter months. Aside from animal damage, other common causes include a bad electrical system relay, a blown fuse or fusible link, a completely defective ignition coil, or just general open and shorted electrical wiring from years of engine heat. In some cases, a faulty camshaft or crankshaft sensor can also disrupt the timing signals. To tackle this problem, you always need to start with a very thorough visual inspection under the hood. Carefully look at all the wires and plastic connectors going directly to the ignition coils, specifically checking for any signs of burned wires, melted plastic connectors, or those telltale animal bite marks. If you spot damaged wires, they will need to be properly repaired or completely replaced. The fix might also require simply swapping out a blown fuse, replacing a sticky relay, or installing a brand new ignition coil. Because this specific trouble code deals directly with primary electrical circuits and the main engine computer, it is usually best to bring your vehicle to a qualified mechanic if the problem is not a painfully obvious chewed wire. A professional technician will use a digital volt-ohm meter to safely test the voltage and ground circuits right at the ignition coil plug. If they find proper voltage but no ground pulse coming from the computer while the engine is running, they can trace the harness back to see if the wire is broken inside or if the expensive engine computer itself has actually failed. Messing with primary ignition circuits without the right knowledge or technical diagrams can permanently destroy your engine control module. Do not ever ignore a heavy engine misfire, get it diagnosed properly by a pro, and keep your engine firing perfectly on all cylinders.